Hello. First of all, I would like to give a warm welcome to everyone that's listening here today from Slovenia. My name is Domen Kralj. I'm a psychologist working here at the National Institute of Public Health in Slovenia, and today I am very happy to have the opportunity to talk about This Is Me prevention program. So in the beginning, I would like to say a few words about adolescence. Now, adolescence is an important period in life. It is a time when we start to develop new knowledge, new skills, and learning to manage our emotions. And it is also a time when we start to acquire new attributes and new abilities and start to assume adult roles in life. In other words, we can say that adolescence is highlighted on the one hand by physiological maturation and on the other hand by psychological maturation. And both of those things can of course cause minor or even greater stress to young people. More than 75% of mental health issues develop before a person turns 25. And in 2001, This Is Me program began to address this important life period in young people. Now, This Is Me is a mental health program that was established by the Institute of Public Health here in Slovenia. It is also supported by Slovenian Ministry of Health, and the program in itself is directed in development of positive and realistic self-esteem, building social and communication skills, and other life competencies to support adolescents in their everyday lives. As you can see here on the screen, This Is Me is a two-part program. The first part is the school prevention program that I'm going to present to you a little bit later, and the second part is the web counseling service. And the main goal of this Is Me program is to be an inspiration to adolescents in developing a healthy personality. If we go to the first part, the web counseling service, here on your right you can see the slogan, "Sometimes it is easier to write than to speak." And in my case right now, this is completely true, because I am much better at writing than at speaking. And we also give this opportunity to young people since 2001. And in that time, we have created the largest youth web counseling service here in Slovenia. We offer adolescents and children with free, anonymous, and public access to expert advice. As you can see here, who is helping in our team? We have a multidisciplinary approach, 66 experts that cooperate with us, from psychologists, psychotherapists, doctors, teachers, social workers, and so on, that answer on the questions of young people. And what is most important to point out here is that all of them are volunteers. Since 2001, these experts have answered on more than 45,000 questions, which is a lot. And the main thing that distinguishes this website, this forum, from similar websites is that we have an editorial board, which means that every question that we get from young people, an editor first checks it out, checks the content, and then sends it to the most appropriate expert to answer it. Now, who are the adolescents that turn to us? Here I have some recent examples. As you can see, young people like to ask about love problems, about studying, and in the past year we also had quite a lot of questions about COVID-19 epidemic and the problems related to the epidemic. If we take a closer look at the statistics, we can see that the majority of posts are written by girls, 74%, and only 20% by boys. And in the age group, the most questions we get from an age group 14 to 17 years of age. In this chart, we can see that young people most often write posts or questions about relationships, then followed by questions related to body, sexual health, physical health, and of course mental health. And if we saw before questions about love problems, about studying, this is also them. Here I have a recent message from a boy called Shadow who said, "Hello, I decided that I will end my road at the age of 15 with a jump. I planned it all. Yes, it will again sound like I'm just looking for attention, but I just can't take it no more when people tell me I'm ugly, incompetent, and that I should just kill myself. And slowly you start to believe them. In the past few years, we see a rise of most difficult questions, such as the one that I showed you from Shadow. As shown on this graph, the most common posts in severe issues category are posts in the first place related to suicidality, followed by eating disorders, depression, and self-harming behavior. And of course, we observe an increasing trend in the most difficult posts on our website, especially in posts that are related to suicidal distress. And we need to address this, and of course, this calls for different initiatives. Furthermore, suicidality posts, suicidality questions call for an immediate response, because it may be very well the first or even the last contact that we will have with a person on the other side, which is why we try our very best to give an instant emotional debriefing and feedback to that person. And this is also the most complex part we can say about online counseling. Now, in the last part, I would like to shortly present the second part of the program, and that is the school prevention program. As you can see here, we have released a teacher's manual with 10 workshops. The first release was in 2011 with the title 10 Steps to Better Self-Esteem. And in 2019 we have released a renewed edition that also includes 10 workshops for developing social and emotional competencies. Now this is a teacher's manual that we have also sent to every school in Slovenia, and these preventive workshops that we see that are inside this manual are for school-aged children, with the most appropriate age for these workshops from 13 to 17 years of age. Based on yearly evaluations, approximately 10,000 children and adolescents in Slovenia are included in these workshops each year. So we will have a closer look at what these workshops actually are. I have them written right here, and as you can see, we have workshops about respecting myself and others, about setting goals for myself, about cooperating with others, about problem solving, then also about dealing with stress, thinking positive, accepting responsibility for my actions, knowing that we are special and unique, being assertive, and also about emotions. And with these 10 workshops, we try to develop social and emotional competencies. And building social and emotional competencies are very important when we want to improve mental health of youth and equip them with better emotional skills for everyday life. Building these skills also help them maintain and create better personal relationships with friends, with teachers, with family, and also they reduce risk factors. And of course, the question is, are these me prevention workshops effective? In short answer, we can say yes. In 2018, we conducted an extensive research in Slovenia. 10 Slovenian schools from different regions participated in this research, and more than 400 children. We had one group that went through all 10 workshops and one control group. And the results showed that there was a statistically better classroom climate in classes that participated in these workshops. There was also a positive trend towards better interpersonal relationship in classes that went through all 10 workshops. There was also improved student-teacher relationship. Especially teachers reported that there was a higher mutual trust between them and the class. And also we found out smaller positive changes in self-esteem. Now, to conclude, What are the reasons for program implementation in schools? First of all, This Is Me is a tested model, as we saw before. Since 2001, schools in Slovenia have the opportunity to use these workshops that are aimed at mental health promotion. The workshops in itself address the values such as empathy, compassion, and solidarity. They are accessible and free of charge, and they can also be easily translated into other languages. They are evidence-based, as we saw before, and are supported by independent operation of online counseling service that I presented in the beginning. Now, in 2021, This Is Me program celebrates its 20th birthday, and from making small steps in the beginning of our program has now developed and matured, we can say, into a young adult. And throughout this year, we got so many positive feedbacks from children and adolescents on our website, as well as many teachers in schools that use our program. Now, we believe that the inclusion of preventive workshops, especially workshops that address mental health, are in schools really important, because we can say that schools represent an environment where almost entire adolescent population can be reached. And that means that it is possible to reduce the risk for development of mental health problems and empower young people's well-being before the problems even emerge. And as World Health Organization states, there is no health without mental health. Mental health is fundamental to our collective, not only on an individual level, but also as a collective. And schools represent a perfect example of that. And that is why we are really dedicated for systematic implementation of prevention programs, mental health prevention programs in schools. That is all from my side. I thank you very much and wish you a good day.